Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video, and this is subject matter that I did videos on before, but my only regret is I have a better way of describing it now, and reason I'm almost in some of this subject matter, almost want to be giggling like crazy, kind of like that YouTuber AJ's rants when he talks about modern women. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about videos I talked about this. I'm joking, be sarcastic about it. This thing they call toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. And the people who use the term, okay, are usually white leftists, and a lot of them are white. Some of them are female. If they're female, they're feminists. If they're male, they're some kind of trans, a dude pretending to be a chick or whatever. And they all think that everybody is racist but them, white people are bad, and yada yada. But, yeah, the term, how ridiculous it is. And I would say to some of them, if it's of any consolation to them in my sarcastic ways, you know what I mean, that, yeah, I believe we have a right to bear arms and the right to be able to lift weights and do things to strengthen ourselves, and that's not toxic masculinity, like they call it. Don't get me wrong. Look, hair kind of like the wind, hair kind of blowing in my face here. All right, almost getting the hair in my mouth. Okay, I ain't resetting the video. Yeah, the wind almost, you know how the wind almost gets like when your hair is kind of almost gets in your. I hate that shit when I'm in the middle of doing a video. But anyway, yeah, toxic masculinity. I'll play ball with some of those people sarcastically. They'll give me dirty ass looks for saying it anyway. If they're watching this YouTube video, they'd be making this faces with their lips or whatever, flipping me off. But if it's of any consolation to them, unlike toxic masculinity. All right, we don't believe in toxic masculinity, but some of us that don't believe in that shit, we will admit to a thing that we, or speaking for myself, actually believe that there is the narcissistic man-child. Maybe that kind of person that, you know, some woman close to you, his ex-husband may have been one or something like that at some point. They come in both black and white people varieties. Like I always said, there's both black and white people are equally capable of good and equally capable of bettering themselves. And there's also equally capable, white and black people are equally capable of doing evil and doing stupid shit. Both black and white people will have the narcissistic man-child, abuses testosterone, abuses women, carries a gun, and don't get me wrong, I believe in the right to bear arms and the right to strength, but it's like I said when I talked about a book called The BS Syndrome by Victor Salupo. Go look it up on Amazon. You can still get copies of it. They should update it. That author talked about the macho man, and a lot of us call it a narcissistic man-child could be dangerous because abusing testosterone, carrying a gun, but they're both, whether they're black or white, they're both capable of committing road rage. And the white version of such a man-child, yes, was, if you want to say that guy, look up Kevin McSwiggan, that guy who got accused of, when he was younger as a lifeguard, made the news, harassing women, sexual harassment. He threatened their lives and got away with it, and he had to carry a gun because he's afraid, you know, fathers and sisters, okay, relatives would want to beat his ass. Years, a decade or so later, committed road rage, and the person he shot happened to be an off-duty cop. An off-duty cop and his son, I believe, you know, got shot, and he ended up going to prison for the rest of his life. Good for him. The white version of that, and then the black version of that is Mr. Gangster Man, Mr. King of the Streets, Mr. OG, Mr. Mr. Me and my boys that sell you the drugs, that rule the streets, that tell you to hate the police because they do brutality, but yet we have the right to commit the same brutality to even shoot you. It's just only wrong when the cops do it. That kind. And yeah, a man-child, which we would say, whether they're black or white, they would be the equivalent to a 8-year-old child who, if they had access to a weapon, would shoot their brother or shoot their parents or things like that, which has happened if unsupervised. But yet these person, they're in a man's body, but yet they're a narcissistic child and will even go as far as doing something and risk going to prison, you know, I mean, like that. So that element exists. And even a few like my lurkers and trolls try to hold me up to ridicule and had nothing to say, don't like this because they were liberal and leftist. My motto too. Unlike the liberal version of equality, I'm saying it too. My version of beliefs, a good mixture of Christianity in a good way and occultism in a good way for perceiving, the purpose of perceiving things. Knows these things, like for example, unlike liberals say, hey, the white guy had Ted Bundy, or more recently Kevin McSwiggan, or other serial killers. The gay crowd had Jeffrey Dahmer and a couple other ones like him that were serial killers, and the black people had Edward Surratt, the serial killer / rapist Edward Surratt, hanging over their heads. But does that mean black people are always evil? No. Does it mean every single person that's black is evil? No. Does it mean every single person that's white is evil and is a serial killer? No. And even though I don't care for the gay groups that force shit down our throats, if you have another affectional preference and keep it yourself and don't force it down anybody's throat, just because every single person is gay or they are a serial killer, most likely not. But I'm trying to be fair there, but people in those groups, they're complicit with a lot of stuff that there's some other people should be leaving that group, even if they have their ways. But that's another thing, yeah. Hey, so anyway, white people and black people have a equal ability to be good and an equal opportunity to be evil. You got and they all have the narcissistic man-child. Even though, like I said, the liberal, the ones that are always is with the trans and the gay crowd, and and everybody that's white and straight is racist, the ones that just say shit like that, will use the word toxic masculinity, because they act like they run things, and if you're proud of your biological gender and you want to walk around with your head high because you lift weights, do knuckle push-ups, and do stuff to be strong, and you have the right to defend yourself, whether it's with a pew-pew or whether it's with, if they come in your house, you bludgeon them if you have to. It's not a wrong thing there, you know what I mean? But anyway, those are the kind of people that use toxic masculinity. They don't want you to have any sense of self-esteem. Oh yeah, and those are the kinds also too that say everybody is racist, right? Everybody that's white and straight is racist. But anybody that's black who's not on a board with their shit, they have a lot of names to call them, and they have a standard and a rule that, oh yeah, don't hate black people and don't be racist, but here's the kind of black people that we expect you to hate. Don't hate black people, but here's the list of the ones we expect you to hate because they're not on board with our bullshit, and so on. And yeah, don't hate Jews, but you're allowed that you're allowed and encouraged to required to hate Ben Shapiro. Not, yeah, yeah, Ben Shapiro. You know, don't mix the Shapiro up with our current what do you call it? Yeah, it's like governor of Pennsylvania or whatever. You know, don't get your Shapiros mixed up. You know, but anyway, yeah, don't hate. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Yeah, don't hate this race, but if it's a member of this race or group that don't agree with our shit, oh, you're allowed to hate them, and that's completely okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the difference anyway between the thing that they call toxic masculinity, the difference between that and what maybe some of us more superior minded sensible people recognizes the narcissistic man-child, who, I say once again, comes in both black and white variety. And that's coming from somebody like me that mixture of Christianity and occultism, coming from like medieval mysticism and the idea of observing how the pendulum swings and human nature and extreme evil behavior and extreme good, helpful, responsible behavior. My belief represents that, and not like Satanism and evil and all the shit that the far left and the trans toxic masculinity crowd basically worships with their multi-gendered demon worship and shit like that, you know, which is very authoritarian and think they run things, and basically pretty much calling for and encouraging the subversion of not just this country, the whole world, other countries. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. That's the basic idea without rambling too long, and that's it.